So a lot of romance genres that I have been finding circling around online is queer. Books like The Song of Achilles, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, or shows like Heartstopper, Young Royals, Arcane, Yuri on Ice, and recently Heated Rivalry. And to be fair, I'm also one of the audience that have been consuming this type of content from time to time, and I know I'm not the only one because these stories are huge and global, and a lot of the audience is women, no matter they're queer or not. At first, I thought it was just about the matter of taste, but the more I paid attention to it, the more it felt like there was something specific these stories were giving that a lot of straight romance doesn't always offer. And part of it is that they feel safer to watch. There's usually less of that built-in power imbalance, not that automatic this person leads and this person follows type of dynamic, or no one has to be smaller or quieter to be loved. For example, in sapphic stories, it feels like both of them get to exist fully, emotionally, or physically without one rescuing the other. And then there's yearning. Queer romance tends to wait, and there's the angst. It lingers. It lets feelings sit there unresolved sometimes because the characters are aware of what they're risking. And the tension comes from wanting something deeply, not just from playing games or avoiding being honest with each other. And emotional vulnerability matters too. You can see characters, especially men in queer stories, who are allowed to feel openly. They're a bit more expressive, they care deeply, and they love without pretending that they don't. And this kind of love hits differently to a lot of people when you don't see it reflected very often elsewhere. And a lot of these stories also move through real obstacles, not just misunderstandings, but family, society, timing, and fear, and yet the love is still intentional and chosen. And I just want to say this properly, this isn't about fetishizing queer relationships, because I am aware that there are people, men and women included, who consume queer stories in a fetishizing way. And that exists, and it's not okay. Reducing queer relationships to something consumable or voyeuristic misses the point entirely, and it's not what I'm trying to talk about here in this video. A lot of these stories are just better written out and more considered because they sit with the immersion instead of rushing past it. And when representation is handled with such great care, people don't watch it as something distant, they just respond to what feels real, what feels heard, and what feels accepted. And I think that's why so many women end up here whether they're queer or not. It's not about labels, but more about the dynamics that feel safer to sit with. It's about watching people care deeply without being turned into something that has to do with control or distance. I also wanted to mention that I'm not saying heterosexual relationships are not presented in a healthy manner in media at all. Shows like Normal People, I would say it's a very raw and natural way to see how relationships evolve no matter what sexuality you have. But I think the focus of this video is just focusing on why women have been consuming more media that are not heterosexual. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully whoever watches this has a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Bye.